Everybody, welcome back to Indiethon. Taking a bit of a right turn into a new direction with the world next door. An interesting little puzzle battler, from what I can see. With some very interesting looking designs, if I may add. I've also heard this is part visual novel, so I hope we'll be getting a full summary of the entire story, thank you. And with that, the floor is yours. Take it away.
Alright. Hi, this is me. I'm moving around. Hello, I'm DoubleDubbel back again to bring you another video game. Done moderately fast. With, we had Momo. Momodora and Reverie in the Moonlight before this, and now we've got a very different game. The World Next Door. Yeah, this is an adventure game with puzzle battling, as Bun highlighted, but there's also some visual novel elements, and that will come into the into the run as we go through it. So before we begin, I'm gonna go into the settings here to show that I've turned the frame limiter on as per leaderboard rules. And at the bottom left of the screen, you can see that I'm playing on version 1.2.0. That's also what I have to... that's what also has to be shown. And I have, on one occasion, had a PB where I only realized afterwards my input display was covering up the version number, so I broke my own rules. Because, yeah, I am the moderator for this as well. So let's not break my own rules again. Time will start when I select yes to confirm a new game. So, let's get it rolling in 3, 2, 1, go! So, yeah, so we hold the button to skip. Only cutscene in the game that you can skip, right at the beginning. So, what this game entails is that we're playing as June, a human from the regular human world who won a competition. To be traveling to Emrys for a day, which is like an alternate world where there's all kinds of interesting looking humans, including our friend Liza that we've been sexting with for 6 months prior to the events of the game. Now we can see how these text boxes are spawning. Like there's a little bit of an in-between, so my method of matching through these is press the X button. I'm using a PS4 controller 3 times, and that's just to get my 2 button presses in for making the text appear instantly and clicking the text box away. And I do 3 presses just in case I'm just barely too early, so press 2 and 3 will do it instead. Now here's Rainy, but we're gonna be mean to him. It's very unfortunate, but we're trying to go fast. The other option will get you more dialogue and an additional dialogue option, so considerable seconds saved already by just picking a certain dialogue option. Now, one thing is, this game has hidden relationship values, depending on the dialogue choices you pick. And there will be some subtle things that change depending on your relationship values. But yeah, the competition is that one person from Emrys gets to go to Earth for a day, and one person from Earth gets to go to Emrys for a day. And June is the lucky person. So here we meet Horace. Mr. Skullman, and I'm looking at my notes for the dialogue choices here. As you can see, each text box takes a bit to pop up, so yeah, it's definitely worth picking the dialogue option with the least text boxes. So yeah, we're gonna get into the main gameplay here. So yeah. So there's this room. We're in a shrine right now where there's a bunch of magic stuff happening that Liza wants to show us. So yeah, I'm gonna just talk to everybody, talk to them in this order, because it just makes the most sense. Because Rainy is the closest to you when you enter the room, and down there is when I want to exit the room in a minute. Here we meet Cerise, the bookworm, the brainy bookworm who knows a lot of things, or as Horace says it, nerd. Alright, so now we're gonna get into the tutorial. This is where the puzzle gaming comes into play. With the puzzle battling. So, group of 3. Match 3 and you do attack. Then you can also grab runes, place them, and match 3 again. And then do the attack. Now you've got different types of runes. So place this here. We got shock runes that shock the floor, ember runes that fire a fireball, and strike runes that just slash at the person where they're standing. Now we get the dash ability. And this is going to work everywhere, including the overworld. So it's going to actually be very nice to for overworld movement as well. So for a while, the dialogue options are very simple. The first option is the fastest. Because either it has the same amount of text boxes as the others, or is tied with them. And the first one is the quickest one to select. So, you know, on a tie, you'll want to pick the option that's most to the left. Now there's a thing here. A bad thing. And yeah, we're gonna run away. We say that we can take it on because that's the shorter dialogue. But in reality, we're gonna run. So escape. Except no. We're stuck. We're cut off. So yeah, now we get into the real meat of this. So you can also see these runes on the ground lighting up. If you make a match... if there's a match somewhere on the map and you make a match next to it, then yeah, the matches that you don't make light up. And you can... they get more powerful. So there is actually... some depth to this whole system. There's also, if you make matches of bigger than 3, attacks also will do more damage. The green runes on the floor, which heal you, they heal more. Alright, so that was the first enemy that just shoots fireballs at you. I'm gonna use this, because it's nice and lined up. Okay. Get a big one, big blue here. So yeah, this is one of the enemies that just runs up to you and tries to bash your face in. Alright, so next fight here. Go in. Now we get both of the enemies we've seen before at the same time. And there's going to be a bunch of these multi-enemy fights, and some of them can actually get very difficult. So yeah, another property of the shock runes is that it will shock a person in place and deal damage over time. Same deal with the void runes, which are these purple ones. If they're in contact with the enemy, it will be doing damage to them. Just gonna heal myself periodically to keep myself topped up. Take out the enemy that wants the enemy that goes up to melee you. You want to take them out first, because they're the easiest to take out. Whenever you cast an attack, it will target the enemy closest to you. And in multi-enemy fights, it is usually most worth it to... Yeah, it's usually most worth it to focus on one enemy at a time and reduce enemy numbers as much as possible. The more maneuverability you have, the better. There's also these wells with green liquid inside. Green like the healing. And yeah, they heal you to full once. You can use them once and they heal you to full. Now, there's the final boss, making a nice early appearance. And yeah, that's the end of the first shrine. We safely get out. So remember that we were meant to go to Emirates for a day, right? So we're supposed to go back. And there's a portal we came through. Yeah, that gets turned on and off for when people get to go back and forth, because it's a competition that's held every X amount of time, but I forget what it is. I think it's every 6 years or something. But the portal is... Notice how the portal is closed. So now we're just kind of stuck. Again. We're stuck on Emrys. And, you know, there's more to it than the fact that that the portal isn't there to knock us back. Humans can also not live on Emrys for very long, or they will die. So we're kind of on a time limit here to figure out how to get June back home. Otherwise we are in some real trouble. Now, may I remind you that it was Liza's idea to go to the shrine. Keep that in mind, considering a certain incentive that we have that I'll let Bun talk about for a bit while I do some overworld movement.
Certainly, we do have the incentive for this game coming up. Do we have a general estimate on when the cutoff point for that will be?
It's pretty late into the run, so it's like around an hour. When I finish Shrine 5 is the 5th Shrine is when that incentive will be cut off. So you got time to like to swing it one way or another.
Of course, right now we do not have any donations either way, so if there's any lucky person who would like to change the narrative either way, it's all on you, and you can put some money towards that, get put in the winning for some prizes, and all that good stuff. And of course, as always, your money is going to a wonderful place, so I would highly recommend it.
Yeah. So yeah, what happened while we were talking about the incentive on whether to forgive Liza or not? Well, what happened? I did some texting. From here on out, at the start of the day, you get to text 3 of your friends. And yeah, I picked the... fortunately, as it turns out, the first three people you can select are the fastest to text. So that's gonna... So yeah, that's more dialogue routing that this game has. Alright, so what we gotta do here, while Liza looks for Cerise, who stayed up all night trying to find out how we have to get back, we have to do a couple things, and we have to talk to Lux and this pair of lovely folk. Lux and Vesper. So, Lux is the popular gossip queen, and Vex is the himbo. And yeah, once you've done both of those, once you've talked to both Horus and then met Lux and Vesper, yeah, Liza will text you that she's found Cerise. And yeah, Cerise stayed up all night trying to figure out how we can get June home. And Rainy was actually the one. You can see him standing there. Over to the right. He was actually the one to carry Cerise back after she passed out in the library. So yeah, here's the other people coming around. Alright, so the dialogue here is pretty simple. I can pick the first option for free, but yeah, Cerise brought out a map that shows that there's 4 shrines surrounding the city that we're in. Currently, the city of Archaeo. That's the city on Emrys where we find ourselves. So yeah, now we've done all the dialogue. Now we can go to the shrine here. So the game progression of sorts that this game is built on is fairly simple. There's a pre-shrine, there's a pre-shrine intro where you do things, and the story is told. Then you do the shrine, and then afterwards you do more story stuff, and then go to bed. And yeah, that sort of progression is gonna keep following. It happened in the first one as well, except the intro was a bit cut short. So now we're here at the shrine. Now what's coming up is a dialogue choice where we get asked who is gonna stay behind, Rainy, Cerise, or both. For speed reasons, we're gonna pick both. We're gonna pick for both of them to stay behind. This actually has an effect on gameplay that I'll go over in just a little bit. Because this shrine is gonna introduce us to friends in battle. Because now we're not cut off from our friends trying to escape the shrine, so we got our friends with us. So yeah, so for the tutorial, they make you assign Horus to this to demonstrate the essence runes. You may remember me talking about making matches bigger than 3 does more damage and everything, and like the healing ones do bigger healing. Making matches of 4 or more also will now spawn an essence rune. And the first thing I'm gonna do here is swap Horus to Liza, because Liza is absolutely busted. You'll find out shortly. So yeah, so the strategy here is to make as many 4 matches as possible to build up essence runes and then get the special. 5's enough, which I now have here. Oh, that's misplaced. So yeah, Liza's is void-based, where she spawns 3 tiny void spheres that will, just stick to enemies like glue almost. So now we get a new enemy. We get this bird-looking guy with the wings. So the enemies that we're fighting, these were regular inhabitants of Emrys before, but overexposure to magic basically turned them into monsters. How many essence runes do I have? I have 4. Okay. That's not a problem. I can just make a quick 4 match here. Figure out which one is the essence rune. Place it here. Oh, right. I messed up the shape. So I did have 5. Okay, well, this was a waste of it, because it only had 5 health. You don't always need the special, and yeah. How's my health? I'll take this healing. If anything, it's for marathon safety. Alright, so now I'm sandwiched in between these. In between these lot. So yeah, same principle here. Make 4 matches. But you can tell that it's kind of difficult in a confined space like this. Okay, so do that. Then fire a fireball. Alright, and now it's time to set up the essence rune here. Or the Liza special. Partner assist if you wanna, whatever you wanna call it. Nope, it needs to be there. Now, one thing I haven't talked about is the bird enemy. Well, like what their ability is. So what they do is, they can randomly disable. They can choose a random type of rune to disable, and I cannot use it. Luckily, they can never pick essence runes, so at least you don't get screwed over like that with it if you want to try and set up a special. Okay, immediately move, because that's going to hit me otherwise. Put him in place. So yeah, so there is randomness to this, but sometimes you can line up pretty nicely. I had 4 quick 4 matches, so I can do this. Oh, I am actually very low on health. Oh boy. Alright, time to move. Get some minor level of healing going. As long as I dash at the right times, I won't get hit by the fireball. There we go. Now I'm in a little bit of a safer area. So while you have the Liza special going, you don't want to frantically move around. Because, like with other attacks, As I almost die there. Let's not die at this point in the fight. Ah, missed him. Okay, what do I want to do here? This is actually going very badly, because that's the problem with fire. I'm gonna take the long way just to stay safe here. Okay, wait for the fireball and then dodge it. Yeah, you cannot get hit while you do that. Uh-oh, get out of the way, get out of the way, June. Okay, good. I'm gonna hope that's enough. Okay, good. There should be a healing well here, so I'll be good for health here. Alright, so I picked up a key earlier by going to a side room, and yeah, you need that here. See, this was the Celestial Shrine. Alright, so now we get to see the first boss. There was a boss in the previous shrine, but we kind of ran away from him because it's the final boss. So we're gonna fight this guy instead. And yeah, they can kind of figure out that we're human. And remember, we're not supposed to be here because we got locked away. Because we didn't get back to the portal in time. Alright, so this boss. So yeah. Like before, make matches of 4 or more to just spawn essence runes as quickly as possible. Okay. So yeah. Gonna set up some 4 matches here. Okay, I'll grab a void rune. Place this here, get some healing, and... Alright, I'll make another 4 match here. Stay over here, where does the essence rune spawn, and there we go. Fight's not been going particularly well, but... Because at some point in the fight, he's gonna do... I'll just use this to get an essence rune and get it out of the way. It's not going to do damage because it's nowhere near. I thought I grabbed this. Hello. Alright, so now we get the hands. So yeah, the screen darkens and these hands are chasing me. They're going to hit me for 30 damage, like that, like so, and keep hitting me as long as they're in contact with me. And I can't use runes. Not that they would hit during the hand phase. And if you do this fight fast enough, you can avoid to... you can only... you can get as little as 1 hand phase. As you can see, I got second hands with him being at 56 health, so yeah. No one hands. Alright, so now it's time to just fire. It's not worth... With this HP, it's not worth it to set up another Liza special. Just do the rest of the HP. There we go, that's the first boss. I'm a little out of position here because I'm going to have to do a fair amount of walking here to to finish off the boss. There's better places to stand in. But I was still alright. Any deathless dungeon is alright because when you're trying to go fast, you can kind of get careless and you take risks, so you're more liable to dying. If you play this casually and just take your sweet time, you'll usually fare a lot better, and these fights will be a lot nicer for you. You know, we don't have the liberty of taking our time. We gotta go fast. So yeah, that's shrine 2 done. Out of 5. Or 2 dungeons done rather, because there's 1 dungeon we're gonna be revisiting. And yeah, this is where we get explained that that the enemies we've been fighting are Emrins that got exposed to too much magic and turned into grievances. So yeah. Alright, end of day 2. So now... Well, yeah, as you can see now, the marking has lit up. And eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed it was the same symbol as the orb we got from beating the boss. Also, yeah, more just picking the first dialogue option again. But now we kind of get caught in the 4K here. By Lux and Vesper, who knew something was up. So yeah, they figure out that we're human, but then instead of us being like, you're not supposed to be here, get out. They're excited. They're excited about it. And yeah, Liza is the typical main character's best friend that hates the most popular girl in class. So she's not happy that Lux is joining the team. So she storms off. We go after her because we have to sleep. Never mentioned this, but the dialogue mentions that it's Liza's place that you crash at to spend the night and hide out. So no one actually finds out that there's a human on Emrys right now. So yeah, there she is. And yeah, Liza's mode is not gonna get any better the next day. For day 3, we have a couple different people to text. Liza, then Rainy, and then Vesper. And nice thing if you misclick and accidentally pick Lux instead of Vesper because you didn't press right once enough. Lux actually has the most text boxes out of all the text dialogue at the start of the day. Luckily, it's not too much of a time loss because you can skip through text messages very fast. So yeah, now Lux is just in on everything essentially, and we would just, for now, we're just planning to just go through all the shrines, beat the bosses, and hope it does something. Also, one thing that's helping June stay under the radar is this mask that she's wearing. And fun fact about this mask, throughout this entire game, you never see June's face. If you only see her from the front when she's wearing the mask, and the times where she isn't wearing the mask, you only see her from behind. So yeah, the objective now is to find Liza, smooth things over, because, you know, there's some, I wouldn't call them cliches, but more like archetypes of main character's best friend that doesn't like the popular gossip queen. You know, that is how the relationships are around here. So all these marketplace dialogues with Liza, we're gonna pick option B for the dialogue. And don't worry, this stuff is gonna continue, but there's some more story happening. So as it turns out, our friend Liza here has a girlfriend called Persimmon, except Persimmon is missing. You know, it being her girlfriend is all, Liza is obviously worried. So, you know, while we're here stuck on a planet that is not accustomed to us being here and is going to kill us in a few days, you know, June's not the only one that's got pressing matters at hand. Right, so both of you need to chill. So yeah, Liza and Lux are arguing again. The faster dialogue option is to tell them both to chill. Then Cerise calls Lux out on provoking people till they snap. Then there's another argument between Rainy and Horus. Rainy claps back. Horus admits that he was right. Just character building. Nothing builds character like being on a train with friends. So now we get to the hardest dungeon in the entire game. It's right in the middle of the run. It's a nice little reset point. So now, one new thing is that we get to pick who we take along. We had Liza and... we had Liza and Cerise... or we had Liza and Horus with us before. But as I mentioned before, Liza is absolutely busted, and we're only going to be using her special ability, so it doesn't matter who we pick otherwise, so we just pick the first options. But yeah, we get to bring one additional friend here, and we leveled up. So we can now pick 2 friends, except we're not going to do that at all, and just going to stick with Liza, as before. Okay, I see there's 5 match in the middle, so just going to quickly take that. Okay, fire gets disabled, so just get this plus, stun them both. Hit him here. Get some useless healing that I don't need because it was full health when I did it. Ooh, this is a nice void rune here. And yeah, 3 of them are already nicely accustomed in the shape. So yeah, the crocodile enemy, as I take them both up at the same time, nicely grouping them up. So the Liza's special hits all of them. So yeah, big fireball that I power up by making a match next to it. And yeah, that makes this fight with this goat enemy really fast. He'll try to smash your face in, like most of the other fights. But yeah, he leaves a trail behind that poisons you, which slows you down when you walk over it. Okay. And yeah, they also do various amounts of damage when they hit you. The goat enemy does 16 damage when he hits you. The bird enemy, 12 when he attacks you. The fireball from the this enemy here does 24, and then the crocodile enemy does 20. All right, so we need one more. Yeah, one more essence rune. Let me get some healing here. I'm gonna be using the healing well in the previous room in just a minute. Because I want to be full health for this next upcoming fight. So yeah, so I'm gonna backtrack here. Because coming up is the hardest fight in the game. And that's including bosses. So let's hope I can get it first try. Because, yeah, 3 enemies. 2 of which would really like to smash my face in. Alright, so I took one of them down, so that's already a really good start. Alright, so I'm gonna stay in the corner here. And, yeah, to make sure that Liza's orbs, yeah, stayed on the enemy that I wanted to take down. Actually, I have 4 essence runes. It might be worth setting up another special here. This void orb is from way too far away. It's not gonna hit. Okay, apparently it did hit. Enemy was nice and moved towards me. Because now I can let this, yeah, Liza's orbs take this enemy out. And I can go up. And yeah, this fight was to get the shrine key for this shrine, the Forge shrine. So honestly, it's really good for the estimate here. That I've done that fight first try. Now let's not waste it by dying here. Okay, I can get this heal here nicely. Nice, got all 3 of them in that one. So yeah, so I'll talk a bit about the other character specials and why we don't use them. Because Horses is based on the fire rune. Which means it uses up all the fire runes that are around to cast one gigantic fireball. The problem with it is that it shoots at where the enemy is and not where the enemy is going, so it's just kind of gonna miss most of the time. Let's see here. Top my health up.
I sneak in here real quick.
Yeah, you're good. 1 second.
All good.
Yeah. I'll give you some time to talk in just a minute. Cause yeah, here's the next boss. So the characters you picked are gonna talk to you here. So that's this boss. And the main things with this boss is that he is incredibly resistant to fire damage. So fire runes are going to be absolutely useless, and the only purpose of them is going to be to make essence runes. Like so. Oh, yeah, those are replaced. He's also going to make a big pool of fire runes that override the runes that exist, including essence runes, so I need to avoid that. And because he's so resistant to it, I can't even use them against him, and because it's still not going to do any feasible damage. But yeah, that's all there is to this fight. I'll just do this fight. You can see it in action, and yeah, Bun, take it away.
Yeah, sure. Just gotta let everyone know that we are in fact supported by Team 17. Team 17 are an independent indie developer and publisher. They've kindly provided us with our awesome grand prize. They recently launched a new demo for their roguelite action RPG, The Unliving. Visit their website at team17.com and check out their full roster of indie games.
So yeah, it actually happened right there where it started making the pool of fire. Right where the essence runes were. In fact, I lost that one right there. Luckily, I still have them. So now, quickly activate this. Can finally get this off. Yeah, there we go. Right, so that's that fight done. A little shaky. Got low health at one point. But the important thing right now is that I didn't die on this boss, because you really shouldn't die on the bosses. Some of them might get a little challenging, but as long as you keep a clear head, use healing runes whenever you need it, you'll be pretty fine with this. Again, with most of these fights, most of the challenge factor comes from trying to do it fast. So yeah, that's the end of the hardest shrine, and still deathless. So that's that's quite the good. Also, I don't know if anyone wants to do the numbers on if I needed the healing well for that hardest fight in the game, or if I did it well enough that I could have survived without. Although that's always a fallacy, really, to do it like that, because you're gonna have a different. You're gonna definitely experience the situation differently depending on which health value you're at. I was gonna be way more nervous if it was low on health, so probably would have died. Game will know if you try it and will kill you more. Games sometimes really do seem sentient about these things sometimes. So you know.
Salutar.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit about the people that have disappeared, and yeah, people have now found out that there is a human running around an Emrys. And exactly, we're not exactly lawfully here, so to speak. Also, for some reason, the game lets you end the day here, rather than having to walk all the way back, so... You know, nice little time save, free time save there. Alright, so for this one, it's nice and simple. Just text the first 3 people you can, Liza, Horus, and Cerise. Okay, so as far as the story goes, not much has changed. So yeah, we're gonna just try to stay out of the hands of the cops, and yeah, this is a nice quick intro segment. There's just some dialogue happening, and yeah, you can just get on the train right after. So we're already on our way to the 4th and final shrine. I did say there was 5 dungeons, so if you've pieced everything together, you will have realized by now that it's the first shrine that we're going to be revisiting. You know, also me mentioning that me mentioning that the final boss is there. So yeah. Anyway, I apologize to the pineapple on pizza enthusiasts. there's a dialogue in this train dialogue sequence about pineapple on pizza, but the faster dialogue option is to say that you don't like pineapple.
I don't see a downside here. You just are correct,
I was gonna say,
and you get to be fast.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an I'm sorry to one. It's a justice to the other. Oh, part of me wants to make an incentive, a donation incentive on the opinion. Decided not to go for it since it's just a simple dialogue option. And, you know, the other incentive will have a bigger effect than just a simple dialogue option. It will actually affect the ending in a certain way. Okay, so now we get to pick 4 people instead of 3, and we get 3 things to choose. So they always make you skip out on one if you're playing this casually and want to use everyone. Alright, so now we go down, and we meet this enemy. Not one of the toughest enemies, but definitely one of the more obnoxious ones. So I'm gonna wait here and let him come to me. Because you may have seen it already. They steal your runes and cast them for yourself. And they are not limited. They don't play match 3, they play match 2. So they're already cheating. Oh, whoop. So yeah, I'm definitely looking for 4 matches here, as usual. Just to deal with this. I don't really intend on using Liza here. Also, I gotta make sure that Liza is set. Okay. Alright, I want them to come over here. And there we go, that's that fight done. So now we get into the next fight, get an enemy. So now we get this enemy again in combination with an enemy we've seen before. So because there's 2 enemies here, I definitely do want to make use of Liza's ability. So I'm gonna build my essence rune stack over here. I'm gonna get some fire runes together to do this. I'll tank some damage, sure. So yeah, I also want to take out this enemy that steals your runes as fast as possible, just so my runes don't get messed with anymore. Now, something that I'm very happy about is that the there we go. Do that. One thing I'm very happy about is that they cannot steal essence runes, fortunately. Okay, hit that. This should be enough to kill. How's my health doing? I'll go on. Let's see if the game is aware and will kill me here. Estimate safe enough that I could suffer a death or 2. Oh yeah, getting hit by shock runes from the rune stealing enemy is the worst because it locks you in place, which means that other people can hit you. Okay, down to 70, which is not great. But I do get some healing here. Oh boy. Okay. Let's go a little bit safe mode here. Do I have 5 essence runes yet? No, of course not. If this nasty keeps stealing them. Okay, let me get this. Okay, that's 1 enemy down. That's already gonna alleviate things. Okay, just cast this here to get another essence rune. Okay, then here's number 5. It's up here. The somewhat fortunate thing about this enemy stealing runes of 2 is that it will not do much damage to you. Because the damage that things do is dependent on how many runes you cast. Also, yeah, this enemy also cannot attack you directly. It has to use runes. I saw it was using it. I had to get out of the way there. Gotta love it. 1 health. Let's see. I'll just use this right here. All right, let me scope out this room. Yeah, there is a healing well here. Good. Ooh, very risky play, but if you survive, it's worth it. Okay, can set up a 4 match here. If they attack you, they do basically a strike rune attack, which you can dodge if you time your dash right. Now, with the way these fields are laid out, it also sometimes becomes kind of awkward to set up the essence rune, because there's only so many places, only certain places that your shape will fit. But yeah, just for convenience sake, I'm gonna just use the same shape every time. Always use this N shape. Also, yeah, strike runes are definitely objectively the best ones, just because there is zero chance for them to miss. The enemies themselves don't move around fast enough to dodge any strike rune attacks, so they're your surefire hit. Also, let me get a big heal here. Nice, cool little 80. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there for when the enemy goes there. Let me see. I want him to stop moving. Ah, I missed it. Okay. Sometimes you do want to waste runes just so you can get other ones to spawn. Like use electric runes that don't do anything. Or runes for attacks that will be guaranteed to miss just to set up an essence rune. Liza's ability is powerful enough that it's worth it to do that. Also, game can be finicky around corners. Okay. Alright, so I'm in a nice place here where there's no 2 runes connected, so this enemy cannot do anything right now. So we're just gonna chill in the corner here. There we go, kill them. Now the other enemy here is in a very confined space, so I'm not likely to miss anything I try, as long as I try it close enough, like throwing a void attack there, reliable strike runes, get the electrics out of my way because they won't do anything. How's my health? 200. Ah, I'm good. I forgot to pick up the key. Dang. That hasn't happened in a while. Definitely happened before, but... Right. Okay, so now that we have the key, we can move forward. And yeah, 200 health, I'm good. This upcoming boss... yeah, I can do... I'm not really in danger of dying. If I just play things right. Alright, so now we get the boss here. This is definitely one of the more obnoxious fights in the game, where you really have to know what you're doing. This is the boss fight that tests you if you know what you're doing and aren't just randomly matching things. So yeah, they will send this. So the boss will send this void rune out, and it will also swap the rest with the colors. Luckily, they cannot miss with essence runes. But yeah, they will also send this void ball out that will try to pull you in and do damage to you. Now I've got the essence rune set up. It's got its own little gravity pull. It does damage when it touches you. And yeah, the key thing in this fight is to stand. Is your positioning. Stand close to the enemy or to the boss when you do attacks, because this boss Because if you cannot spawn, not only is it slower to kill the minion first, it will also resummon it. There we go. Good fight. It will also resummon the minion, and it will always be the rune stealing minion that we've seen before. Yeah, that was introduced in this shrine. Yeah. So yeah, use the use basically the rest of the game before this to let you be taught that you attack when you cast an attack. The closest enemy, it will target the enemy closest to you. Cause yeah, that fight will take an eternity. Now we picked 4 people, and you know because Liza's OP, we picked the closest one. So we leave Lux and Vesper behind. Lux tells us we need to leave. Cause what actually happened is that Lux and Vesper got arrested by the police. So yeah, the police are kind of onto us. And that ain't good.
Mind if I slip in here for just a moment?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, don't worry, make it quick. Of course, we are coming up to incentive stuff. Even if you don't want to donate to the most recent one coming up, we do have one final incentive. Seeing the service dog at death's door, which I would personally recommend given, of course, what we're donating to. And of course, I would like to wish Nick a happy birthday, my friend. He is one of our organizers, and it is his birthday, and I would be remiss not to mention it. So everyone in chat, give Nick a good old happy birthday.
Oh snap, I didn't actually know that. Happy birthday, Nick.
Right? What a cool dude.
I mean, I'm having fun here at Indiethon. Gotta thank Nick for that. I'm enjoying myself being here.
I'm chilling out hard.
Yeah. I did Momodora Reverie in the Moonlight before, and while the run itself did not go too well, I had fun along the way. Yeah. Can we start a $5 birthday donation train? Let that be your birthday gift to Nick. It's just to drop a fiver. Alright, so what happened in the meantime is that I did things badly. I was supposed to actually text Lux and Vesper because they were arrested by the police. Their phones were taken away, so they had only 4 text boxes. Luckily, they're safe and sound. They got out of their shenanigans. So yeah. So now it's time to go around. We've done the 4 shrines, and we've completed 3 of them. Or we visited all 4 of them. We've done 3 of them. So all that's left now is the final shrine. Which was also the first shrine. But it's also the final shrine. So it doesn't matter who you talk to. Talking to anyone will start this piece of dialogue. But yeah, that's a very dangerous final boss. And the final boss is legitimately dangerous, as you'll be seeing in a minute. Also, Also, I would estimate that we're roughly an hour into the run, so we've been talking about the incentive. We've referenced it a couple times. So this is the point in the story where Liza admits that it's her fault we're trapped here on Emrys. So, you know, if you want to get if you're joining in that birthday donation train and want to toss it to an incentive, if you want to toss it to this one, allow me to tell you what you're donating for. So I mentioned earlier in the story that Liza's girlfriend, Persimmon, got kidnapped. And the kidnappers blackmailed Liza into making sure that we get trapped here. Those blackmailing people, they rigged the lottery so to make June win and come here. Liza was tasked with making sure we got stuck here. And basically have to go on this dangerous quest. If we did that, then Persimmon would be returned. And Paxton as well, which is a young dude. Who was also missing alongside Persimmon. Is one of the people in this friend group that we've been hanging out with here. So yeah, due to Liza, we're stuck here on a planet that's gonna kill us in a few days. Except she was blackmailed into it. Your choice on whether to pass judgment, if that's forgivable or not. The incentive can stay open for a little bit longer, so you have time to swing it one way or another. Once we beat this shrine, and we transition out of it, that's when we'll be closing it. Because the dialogue on the train on the way back is where we make the final decision. So yeah, Lux and Cerise went ahead to the shrine. We're gonna meet them there. But yeah, as Buns has said as well, there's also a death door incentive you can donate towards. So, and it's all going to a good cause. Puppies behind bars. All right, so the gang's all here. Everyone is here. So yeah, we got. So Horace is not feeling all too well. That's a little out of the ordinary, especially with me pointing it out and everything. So you've already seen this shrine before, but there is going to be something different. There's different fights to go through. So first we got this fight with two of these ranged enemies, and then this goat man in the middle. So yeah, same deal as before with 3 enemies. Luckily, this is not one of the harder fights like we had in the fourth shrine, because we have more space to move around. We don't have a small like ice shape that locks our movement capability. Alright, I'm gonna make sure the Estus rune. Yeah, okay, that messes up the shape. Quickly check that Liza is set. Good. Actually, click out of the menu. Alright, I think I wanna do this fight the normal way. It's not worth setting up a Liza special at this point. I'll take some health though. Alright, I hope it hits. Good, that hit. Dodged it as well. Now we're coming up to the final boss already. It's that one fight. There's optional fights you can do, but you do that fight, you go here, and here we are. So Horace is really not feeling well, and he's growling a lot. So the person you have the highest relationship value with is what this will happen to. And what is actually happening is they're suffering that overexposure to magic and turning into a grievance. AKA a monster that tries to kill people. That's not good. We don't want our friends to turn into grievances, so we have to do it. So yeah, here's the final boss that showed up earlier. At the very beginning. Now we got this fight. He's got 600 health. And there's a bunch of bad things he can do. He moves a lot. Which makes Liza's special that much less effective. He leaves this poisonous trail behind that slows you down. As you walk over it. And on top of that, what he can also do, he also does not get stunned in place by shock. None of the bosses get that, by the way, but yeah. This is the first boss where you really notice it. Alright, so I got hit. I'm taking 2 damage periodically, which I'll heal off here. But the more pressing matter is that my dodge gets disabled. My dodge move gets disabled while this damage over time is happening. Alright, so I need him to move, so this the Liza special here becomes available. Alright, so I'm just gonna hope it does a decent amount of damage. It doesn't move too much. Alright. Again, even against this boss, strike wounds are very guaranteed hits. Alright, so we're progressing through this fight. I've almost done it. Also, yeah, you can do that. Jump across an entire row and replace the runes with new ones. And that will also override... that will also override the any essence runes you have. Alright, so now he's standing here waiting. He's down to 1 health. And I can get one final hit to finish him off. Sometimes, for really random reasons, he will just be running around and about on 1 health, and no hits will take at all. So yeah, he just sits there at his scripted 1 HP, and you can't do anything until he jumps to the right of the screen on this wooden plank, and gets into that position where I killed him. You have to wait for that. Alright, so we're so yeah, it is time to close the incentive, because we're transitioning out. Read some donations as well, Bun, if we got any.
That's the unfortunate part. I don't think we do. And so far, nobody has donated to the incentive. So, it's all up to you, Chief.
Well, I'll give you the nicer thing. So, okay, so yeah, there's a thing in the ending here. So this is where Liza admitting what she told us to everyone now, and yeah, everyone has the same shock reactions essentially. But you know, I'm a guy that wants a happy ending, so I'm gonna choose to forgive. Oh, that was not the choice yet. I need to wait for the dialogue where she literally asks to be forgiven. We should be here. Can you ever forgive me? Of course I forgive you.
Let's go friendship, boys.
Friendship wins. Alright, so get ready on time, because this is the final dialogue sequence. Lux is gonna... We're gonna leave. Spoilers, the plan is gonna work and we can return home. But yeah, after June leaves, Lux is gonna get everyone together for a selfie. And she will literally count it down. So when she's count down... when she's done counting down, she'll take the selfie. The screen will fade to... And when the screen fades to black after that, that's when time is. Now, this is the very end, so... So yeah, we did the thing. We made the portal appear. Now, the character you have the... Your character you have your best relationship value with will come up to you and talk to you here. With the dialogue options that we choose for the speedrun, it's gonna end up being Horus. Alright, so here it comes. Get ready. So, there it is. Ready, 1, 2, 3. And time. That's the world next door. I've explained the story to you as best I can, but there's dialogue that does it better. So, you know, feel free to check out this game for yourself. Presented by Viz Media, who you may be familiar with as English localizers for a bunch of manga. I've got some behind me. You can't... can you see them? Oh, you can see them at the very bottom, like down there. It's hard to tell, but those are manga. Yeah, what do we have? Yeah, a bit of Azumanga Daioh, Kakata Sakura. Anyway, that's all of that. This picture is what's determined by the ending whether you forgive Liza or not. If you forgive Liza like we have, you get that happy picture. With Liza all the way in the front. If you don't forgive her, you get a picture where Liza's in the background looking sad. I think you can understand why I went with forgiving, because it's a nicer picture. I'll tell you, well, alright, well, Bun, do you have anything more to read alongside the runtime? There's Paxton and Persimmon, they returned as well.
No, it's no donations showing up, unfortunately. Your runtime is 1:01:17.
Alright, nice. My PB is a mid 58 minute time, so only 3 minutes behind, and having a deathless run for that matter, even though it got close a few times, is really nice. Yeah.
Of course. Anything you'd like to shout out?
Well, shoutouts to the developers of this game that I never said. Also, the weird sword, which was the sword that we've been using, that was the name that we gave it. It basically gave June the power to travel between Emrys and Earth at will. So she basically just revisited them, which is what happens in that picture. But yeah, this is a pretty cool game. Little bit of trivia for you. You may be familiar with a game that released a couple years ago called Yoshi's Crafted World, as a follow-up to Yoshi's Woolly World. That game released on this game released on the same day as Yoshi's Crafted World. And yeah, shoutouts, as I wanted to say, to Rose City Games for making this. You know, we care about developers here at Indiethon. And yeah, that's it. Gonna be it. That's gonna be it for me gaming-wise, but not quite talking-wise, as I'll be hopping on the hosting desk, taking over for Bun here. So thank you, Bun, for being on hosting here. And thank you once again to Indiethon for letting me showcase these games. I did it earlier during Momo, and I'm just as grateful now.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the wonderful run and summarized audiobook. It is very much appreciated. What a pleasant little game. Unfortunately, I ran out of Steam wishlist jokes, so I can't give you one of those. But assured you I would if I had any left. Unfortunately, it is true. I am making my way out of here. So it has been wonderful and fun, and I will see you all hopefully next year.
One last thing I want to mention before we go is, if you want to check out this game, it's available on Steam and Switch specifically. So those are the platforms you can find it on. And I own it on both, because I played it on Switch, then got the PC version for speedrunning. So yeah, bye everybody.
Yeah, and we will